Let's talk about natural remedies for laryngitis. Keep in mind that this is an evidence-based channel, and everything I share with you here has been used in clinical research. So let's first talk about what actually causes laryngitis. Firstly, what is laryngitis? That's the inflammation of the larynx or the vocal cords, the voice box. Now, what causes it? There's two types of causes. You got the infectious causes and the non-infectious causes. So viral infections, bacterial infections, and even fungal infections, although fungal is incredibly rare. Then you've got the non-infectious causes. So overstraining of your vocal cords through yelling, singing, speaking really loudly, or just overuse in general. Allergies can also irritate the larynx and cause inflammation. Exposure to pollutants, smoke, even things that you clean your house with can cause irritation of the larynx and inflammation. And then we've got gastroesophageal reflux disease, also known as GERD, which can actually lead to chronic laryngitis. And this is a condition in which the contents of the stomach tends to come into the esophagus along with some of the hydrochloric acid. And this can be very damaging to the esophagus long term. It can also inflame the esophagus, inflame the throat, inflame the larynx, and can cause laryngitis. Now, what are the symptoms? And these you need to keep in mind that they vary from person to person. It's not like a set group of symptoms. And so the most common one is hoarseness of the voice. And this is now remember, just because you experience these symptoms doesn't mean it's laryngitis, doesn't mean it's one of these things. It's extremely important for you to get checked out and make sure that you have a proper diagnosis. So the first symptom is hoarseness of the voice. Next is loss of the voice. That's the most severe cases. Pain in the throat when speaking or swallowing, dryness of the throat, coughing as well due to irritation in the throat, and then difficulty speaking. Your vocal cords tend to get fatigued very easily. Sometimes it can also be tightness in the vocal cords as well, where you'll experience you have to somewhat clear your throat, and then that actually helps to relieve the tightness. Now, what can be done to speed up healing? Before we get into the specific remedies, as per the causes, let's just talk about some general things that can help you. Now, just keep in mind that if it's a really severe case, it does require medical attention. But for mild and minor cases, there's certain things you can do that can help. First, you want to rest your voice. You don't want to speak. You don't want to whisper. You don't want to suddenly you don't want to shout and sing. You definitely don't want to be over talking like I am in this video at the moment. You want to drink plenty of fluids, especially water, herbal teas. You want to avoid too much caffeine because caffeine will dehydrate you. That's why it dries out the mouth. It also dries out the vocal cords. Consuming things like bone broth is good. And then just keeping the throat moist and hydrated. You can use a humidifier or inhale steam to actually soothe the vocal cords and help to, it also helps with lubrication. And then gargling with warm salt water several times a day can also help to reduce the swelling. But you don't want to do it too many times. Again, this is dependent on what's caused the problem. If it's being caused by GERD, by acid reflux, then gargling with salt would actually be a bad thing. So it's still very important for you to know what's causing the problem. And then, of course, you want to avoid smoke, fumes, and environmental irritants that can actually make your symptoms worse. So these are some of the things that alone will actually speed up the healing of the vocal cords. So let's start with the remedies. First on this list is licorice root. Now, licorice is a very popular remedy for acid reflux, for upper respiratory tract infections. It has a long history of being used for treating SARS. And it's a demulcent, meaning it increases the amount of mucus wherever it goes. So when you gargle with it, it will actually increase the mucus in your mouth. If you gargle at the back of your throat, it will increase more mucus at the back of the throat. It's used in a clinical study for treating functional dyspepsia, and one of the symptoms of this condition is acid reflux. And then in addition to that, it does work for upper respiratory tract infections, mostly viral and bacterial. It's not used for fungal problems. Fungal infections, like I said, is quite rare. There are specific remedies for it. Licorice is not one of them. This is also a very common remedy for strained vocal cords. I know personally because I'm a singer, I've used licorice root for many years to actually improve vocal health and to help me to recover from singing. If I did a performance and I had to sing for 2 hours, um, if I took licorice root before and after, it would usually help me quite a bit. And keep in mind that there's a form of licorice that you can use known as DGL. D for dog, G for George, L for Leo. This is a form of licorice root that has one of the chemical constituents removed from it. And why is that important? Because licorice root can increase blood pressure if you take actual licorice root. Now, it doesn't do it to most people. You have to consume it in large quantities for it to do this, or you have to already have high blood pressure for this to happen. Now, if neither of those apply to you, you can use regular licorice root. You can consume it as a tea. If you're concerned about it, use DGL. This does not increase your blood pressure. And the next remedy is zinc. Now, zinc is used for treating the common cold. It's used for treating upper respiratory tract infections. And it's also known to be a quite an effective antiviral with a history of use for treating hoarseness and sore throats. So as you can see in the study, it's a meta-analysis of zinc lozenges. Using zinc lozenges is highly effective for improving the symptoms of the cold and the flu, but also for improving hoarseness and sore throats. Now, it's very important that whenever you take zinc, that you also get copper. The reason why is zinc and copper compete for absorption in the body, and you always need to have a good amount of both at the same time. So you can just eat copper-rich foods like dark chocolate and oysters. Next is honey. Honey is one of my favorites. Honey is antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, mucolytic, meaning it gets rid of excessive mucus. And it's very popular among singers. Again, I've used this throughout my singing career. And it's specifically used in clinical research for improving upper respiratory tract infections, as seen in this meta-analysis. Honey is incredibly effective for treating respiratory infections, which is one of the causes of laryngitis. And honey should always be used high quality honey. It's preferable to use raw honey, and it should never be heated. Now, when should you see a physician? Now, firstly, you should always see a physician. That's non-negotiable. But if it's just something mild that you're dealing with at home, you want to try some home remedies, that's understandable. But when you start seeing these things, you absolutely need to get to a doctor. So severe pain or difficulty in breathing, a high fever, blood in your saliva or mucus, difficulty swallowing, or symptoms that are just lasting for way too long, then that could sometimes indicate that it may be a problem with GERD and you need to get that resolved, or it could be something else that needs to be more well investigated. So that's my take on laryngitis. I hope this information has helped you. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you can do so through my website, drnishal.com. You can also just scan the QR code here on the screen. To get in touch with me, I do online video call consultations. So no matter where you are in the world, you can get in touch with me and I can help you. I'll see you in the next video.